Hello, hello. Good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Rebound Coach Live. My name is Dallas Cohen, and I am otherwise known as the Rebound Coach. I'm so glad that you're here with me tonight. We have a great discussion planned for this evening, and honestly, it's a bit transparent. And I do often share my story and what I think is shared transparently, but I share about things that have happened in the past. And right now, today, we're going to talk about some things happening currently. So, just in case you just got here and you this popped in your feed on social media, or someone sent you this recording and said you got to watch this. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm Dallas Cohen, the Rebound Coach, and this is the Rebound Coach Live, where I take some time and just share something with you to encourage your heart and give you some strategy. And so tonight we're talking about how to finally be taken seriously. So, I don't know about you guys, but I've felt from time to time like they're not taking me serious. They don't believe me. They just kind of pat you on the head and say, "Okay, honey," and you're like, "Well, hey, I'm talking to you, right?" So we're going to talk about that today. If it's your first time sharing virtual space with me, if it's your first time watching or being a part of the Rebound Coach Live, I'm so glad you're here. I'll tell you a little bit about myself and how we ended up sharing this time together today. Here's the short version, guys. I'm a life coach. Life coaches help people get unstuck. I have the honor of serving high achieving women of faith who've lived through betrayal, trauma, or abuse and want to reclaim territory in their relationships with themselves. So I got on that path because of my own story. And here's the highlight reel, guys. I survived a 10-year marriage with a man who wanted me dead. There was a tremendous amount of emotional and spiritual abuse in my home. There was essentially what the professional calls domestic violence. Even if there's not physical violence, it is still considered domestic violence. And he and his mistress eventually were plotting my murder towards the end of things. I had gotten that serious. And by a long line of divine interventions and divine events, and they weren't even interventions because God had pre-planned the rescue before there was the peril, before I even knew how worse, how bad, how dangerous things had become. God had already chartered out my rescue plan, and I'm so thankful to God. But through a miraculous stream of events, I am safe, I am well, me and my children are well, we're thriving, we're growing. And we're even at this point where I'm going to talk to you about today, in this growth period, in this growth stretch period, which is exciting. And so I could allow, the identity that my ex-husband had planned for me, and quite frankly, I'd agreed to tell me who I was and what I was allowed to be, or I could choose life. And so I wrote a book out of that situation. And the name of the book is called I Choose Life, Rewrite Your Love Story and Change Your Legacy. And it has blessed many, many people. If you or someone you care about has lived through or is currently going through domestic violence, abuse of any kind, or you just, you're a people helper and you serve people who have lived through things like that, this book is for you and or for them. So you can get that at thereboundcoach.com/book. That is thereboundcoach.com/book. Then you can pick up this book. You can get a physical one and I will sign it for you and write it out to you. Or you can get an ebook over at the website. So, okay. Wanted to tell you about that. So often, guys, I felt like, man, y'all ain't taking me serious. Okay. And watching social media. So I'm on social media more than I post on social media, if you understand. So lots of folks do the creeper vibes, the stalking vibes. They're just watching everybody. And there is a beautiful storm outside. So in case you hear rumbly, that's what's going on. But a lot of times I spend on social media watching people's lives and feeling like um, they're doing better than me. So today is going to be a little more transparent than I normally would do, just because that's what I'm called to do right now. So this year's it's only 4 days old, y'all, and I can tell you, I just feel like there's a stretch in my character happening right now, and that's a good thing, and I welcome it. But it's still like it's a stretch. And so, digging in areas of my mind and will and emotions that I don't normally dig into. And you're going to get the benefit of that today. So, I don't know if I'm going to say I'm excited to share with you, but I think it's an important conversation for us to have around being taken seriously. So, like I was saying, I'll scroll through social media and I'll watch people's lives and, the things that they're posting. And I have a lot of entrepreneurial friends because I'm an entrepreneur and I know a lot of business people. And so I'm watching people talk about their businesses and the different things they've got going on. And I'm very happy for them. And I also feel like, man, everybody's doing better than me. Man, um, so and so's got this going on, and so and so's got that going on, and why don't I have that going on, right? And I think we all do a bit of that while we're looking at social media. But I found myself I'm spending a lot of my time and energy wanting to keep up, right? So not necessarily trying to keep up, but like wanting to keep up. Like, oh, I'm gonna do that too. I'm gonna get that too. I'm gonna do that too, right? Um, or and this is the honesty part, guys. I didn't realize I was doing this. But introspection is quite the clarifier. And so something I realized I was doing when when I had influence over it. So most of the time I watch people doing great things and nothing, I can make no impact in that other than to congratulate them and wish that I was also doing as great. But I found in some instances where there's people that are in my circle and there's people that I am interacting with, I found myself like passive aggressively trying to keep them from encroaching on my territory, whatever I considered my territory. If you and I had mutual friends and you were getting closer to one of our mutual friends than I was, I would feel slighted. And you go like, why? We're all friends, right? We're all friends and people are allowed to have different levels of relationship with different individuals. But I would feel like someone is surpassing me and I was missing out. Okay, like, oh, I need to be close to that person. You can't be close to that person. I need to be close to that person. The same with people of influence or people of power, feeling like I needed to jockey for position, to be close to them, to be visible to them. So and so can see me and see all my goodness, right? And then I'll have opportunity and then I'll have promotion or whatever, right? Always feeling like I was missing out and wait and on the other end of that. So when I dug deeper, why do you feel like you're missing out? And why are you not doing what you need to be doing? And what was under that was, man, I feel like I'm waiting for my turn. So one of my favorite things to watch, the shows I like to watch on TV, the reality shows are the ones where like people are being rewarded for hard work. So I like to watch Undercover Boss is one of my favorites. I like to watch Shark Tank. I like to watch on the like America's Got Talent and stuff. So the shows where people work hard for a long time and then finally their hard work is on display and someone just like blows their mind and changes their life. Like I go to YouTube and I watch the Golden Buzzer like compilation. So an hour's worth of like heart touching stories where somebody has overcome adversity and they worked really hard at their craft and they're really good and they get on the stage by the skin of their teeth and do really, really well. And somebody's like, "You're amazing." And they press this golden buzzer and it makes all this noise and there's golden confetti everywhere. And there's like moving music in the background and people hug and they cry and somebody's, "Oh my God." Ah. Like all the thousands of people are applauding. "Oh, you're amazing." Ah. Okay. Like it's one of my favorite. And I watch them and I cry. I cry with them because it's so moving. So I say all that to say I really enjoy watching someone's faithfulness be rewarded, right? And that backs up into me feeling like, well, if I am just diligent, if I am just faithful, if I just keep my hand to the plow, somebody's going to see me. God's going to see me and he's going to reward me. And then other people are going to see me and they're going to reward me, right? And so that's kind of been my strategy. If I'm honest with you, that's been my strategy for a long time. And when I feel like I haven't been rewarded by God or others, when I feel like, hey, somebody's doing better than me and my opportunity got missed, I get mad at God and be like, hey, but do you not see my record? Do you not see what I'm doing over here? You don't notice my faithfulness, right? And so kind of waiting on God to take me seriously and be like, I need you to see this. So maybe you've experienced that too. Maybe you felt like before that people aren't taking you seriously and you're being picked over and left out and just not being rewarded for your own faithfulness and your own hard work. So, friend, here's the truth bomb, okay? Because like I said, since this year has started and even before, God's been really shining light on areas of my own character that need to be refined. And by virtue of this live, you and I'm sharing this time with you as well, sharing this lesson with you. So here's the bottom line. God and others are not missing out on taking you seriously. The truth is, you and I are not taking ourselves seriously. What do you mean? You just talked about all this working hard and faithfulness. What do you mean you're not taking yourself seriously? We teach others how to treat us. We teach others how, even the abusers in our lives, we've taught others how to treat us. And I'm speaking as an adult, okay, not a child. Children they didn't do it, right? Children didn't make an abuser abuse them. And adults don't cause anyone else to choose their behavior. So that's not what I'm saying. But we do what we allow in our lives, the way other people treat us and what we allow other people to treat us. We're teaching them. Okay, we're teaching them very, very often, not always, but often in situations where there's emotional abuse or someone taking advantage of someone else. We often allow that other person to take advantage for whatever reason there is. Okay, so it's not so much that other people aren't taking you serious. It's really that we're not taking ourselves seriously. And I say I'll say I have not taken myself seriously in several areas. And so since it's beginning of the year, myself and my children, we all made goals, and my clients, we're all making goals for the new year and how we're going to accomplish our goals. And the same psychological process happens with everyone. Okay. It's the 4th of the year. This is where people are like, I'm done. I'm not going to do that thing, right? Whatever it is. And I was explaining it to my children because we set some goals, or they set their own goals, and then I gave them some strategy on how to reach their goals. And so one of them were asking me about it and was like, so do I really have to do this strategy you gave me? Do I have to do it? And so I often, when they pose questions like that, I'm often saying, well, you don't have to, but here's your choice and here's your choice, right? So I didn't say that. I said, are you serious about your goal there? Well, yeah, I'm serious, but do I have to do that? Well, And she's asking me, am I going to remind her? I said, well, do you want me to remind you? Right? And so really, I explained to them the psychological process that happens with all of us. Our goals are goals because we don't already have them, right? And we don't already have them because what it takes to get there is out of our comfort zone, right? Whatever it is. Health and wellness is a big category of goals for the new year. So we'll use that as an example. So people who want to lose weight or get fit or get trim or muscular, whatever it is, they set their goal. But the reason they have the goal is because they're not already there, right? If they were already there, that wouldn't be the goal. Something else would be, right? So they set the goal and then, all right, here's what it's going to take. Or they say, my goal is not the end, it's the means. My goal is to, work out 5 days a week or whatever it is. Like, okay, you set your goal. Very good. Hooray. High five. Now this is what it's going to take. You're going to have to get up early. You're going to have to get accountability. You're going to have to do this, that, and the other. And then here comes the rise of the noise, I'm going to call it. All the excuses, all the justifications, all the things we tell ourselves to not press past that comfort zone into the next thing. Man, that's hard. I really like my sleep. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. So I have I have several goals I made for myself in the year. And sure enough, it's happening to me. It happened to my daughters. It happened to my clients. We come up with all of our justifications, our reasons, our excuses, our nonsense, our garbage that we allow to stop us from going to the next level, from really taking ourselves seriously. And so my reminder to myself, my reminder to you is to take yourself seriously. I turned 40 a few months ago, like 3 months ago now, 4 months ago, something like that. And that was one of the things I determined in my heart for my year of 40. I have been waiting for a very long time for someone to notice me and take me seriously, for someone to come and change my life with a big fell swoop. And, here's the reward for your faithfulness. Here's the reward for your overcoming adversity. Here's your golden buzzer, right? And those things happen sometimes and sometimes not. And the reality is I shouldn't be waiting for anybody to change my life. I should be the one changing my life. And I encourage the same for you. Don't wait for somebody to reward you. Reward yourself with the hard work of taking yourself seriously. If those goals you set are important to you, make them a priority. It doesn't mean it's going to be perfect. It's not. You're not going to be perfect. It's okay. Give yourself grace, but don't give yourself an out. Don't enable your own mediocrity. Don't enable yourself to slide back into, well, I just don't feel like it today. Well, I'm just not going to do it right now. Well, I don't really have to. Nobody really counts it. Don't slide back into that. Okay, I'm going to give you some keys. I'm going to give you some keys on how to push past your comfort zone and get to the win. Okay, because that's really what we're all trying to do. Try to get to the win, whatever the goals are. Like, we want to win. And they're goals because we haven't done them before and because it takes more than we have given in the past. But it doesn't take more than we have. How do I know that? Because the desires that are in you, the goals that you set, whatever they are, they came from your Heavenly Father. And He put them in there because you can, because He wills it. He wants you to will it, but He can do our steps for us. So here are some keys. Okay, so here's some keys to taking yourself seriously. Number one, define your goals specifically. Okay. One of my mentors, Danny Johnson, says nothing becomes dynamic until it becomes specific. So you can't hit, you've heard the phrase putting spaghetti on the wall and throwing the spaghetti on the wall and see what sticks. That's not a very targeted approach to anything. So for your goals, if it is a relationship goal, if it is a health and wellness goal, if it's a financial goal, whatever it is, be specific. Know exactly where it is you're going. Then you can define how it is you're going to get there. Okay. But as long as it's general, you're giving yourself outs to be mediocre. You're giving yourself outs to not follow through. You're giving yourself ways to not get it done. And then when you don't get it done, you're like, well, see, that goal thing, it didn't work. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to set any goals because it doesn't work. I don't work. It doesn't work. No. Doesn't. Is linda. Don't give yourself an out. Okay. Be specific about where you're going. You don't have to shoot for something that's impossible. Matter of fact, you shouldn't. You should do something, they call it SMART goals, right? Specific, number one, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely or time bound. Okay. That's SMART goals. You can look that up. Google that. There's plenty of information on that. Okay. So number one, keys to taking yourself seriously. Be specific about your goals. Number two, set yourself up for success. Okay. Whatever it takes. So for me, for my goals, for any of them, okay. Really, like, no matter what your goal is, you're going to need this. Discipline in your time. Okay. If you've heard the phrase, how you do anything is how you do everything. So what God is highlighting for me in my life right now, in many areas, I have erred on the side of excess. And I say it, because I know that about myself. I will err on the side of excess. I'll do too much for safety, right? Like I'll do too much, and then I'll know I'll have more than enough for whatever it is, like buying too much food or supplies, household supplies, or, just too much. Like I'll err on the side of excess. And God has shown me the areas in which that has not been good for me, has not been beneficial, has been literally too much, right? So set yourself up for success. Okay. Know what you need to get where you need to go. Know what you need around you. Know the physical stuff that you need. If there are processes and steps that you don't know, ask. We have the internet at our fingertips, so most answers can be found there. But seek out mentors. Find someone who has what you want and do what they do. Okay. And then number three, there's only 3 keys today, is telling other people. Okay. Tell other people what your goals are. Otherwise, again, when you keep it to yourself, it's easy to slack. It's easy to not do it. It's easy to just, gonna let it slide today, because no one's looking. No one's holding me accountable. Accountability is the difference between knowing what to do and doing what you know. So many of us know what to do. We're very smart people. We've been around a while. And if you've been around smart people, you know smart things, right? We know what to do. But the difference between knowing what to do and doing what you know is accountability. So whether you're going through, domestic violence in your marriage, if you've been betrayed, if you are learning how to love yourself again or love yourself for the first time, or if you're just, hey, look, I'm a business person and I have goals. I got goals, like whatever it is, wherever you find yourself today, I encourage you to take yourself seriously. Take yourself seriously. Take your goals seriously. Take your desires seriously. Because if you don't, who will? And if you don't, who will? And the honesty is, when we don't, no one else will. That's the reality of it. So your needs, your wants, often in abusive relationships, your needs as a woman is just ignored. Well, he doesn't care about how I feel. All right. So if he doesn't care, do you? And we might be like, yeah, I care. That's why I'm telling him about it. Nope. If you've established that he does not care, what does it mean for you to care? And I had to look at that for myself as well. What does it mean for me to care about me? I loved him when I was married. I loved him and I was very dedicated to him and very dedicated to marriage as a concept. I'm very dedicated to my role as I understood it, to duty, right? As I understood it. But if I was honest, and if I had asked myself in that time if I was taking myself seriously and caring about my own emotional health, my own feelings, my own sanity, for that matter, just straight sanity, I didn't. I cared about all the other things more, and I was teaching my ex-husband how to treat me because I didn't care about me. So then he didn't have to care about me. And I use myself as an example, but that is the dynamic that plays out very, very often in those kinds of situations. So I encourage you to care about yourself enough. And if you're in a domestic violence situation, care about yourself enough to tell someone else, tell a trusted friend. You can call the number that I'm putting up here, 1-800-799-SAFE. Even if you're like, I'm not sure if what I'm going through is abuse, I'm not sure if this qualifies or if I can get any help, 1-800-799-SAFE or 7233 if you're listening and not watching, 1-800-799-7233. There are professionals that will listen and help you make a decision if you need to, or just listen, right? So I hope that encouraged you today. If you're watching, I'd love to see you in the comments. Let me know that you're there, first of all. I'd love to say hello. Let me know what of this resonated with you. And what are some of your goals for the year? So, or your focus, right? So my focus this year has been expanding my vision, and not just in a, not in a physical sense. Yes, in a physical sense, but not just that. But in an emotional sense, in a spiritual sense, being able to see broader than I normally would see. I'm a very keep your head down, get your work done kind of person, but I want to expand that new horizon. So that's kind of my focus for the year. But put in the comments, tell me who you are, tell me that you're here. I'd love to say hi, and tell me what you're doing. Hey, Jenny, I see you. Hi, thank you for coming. Would love to know what your focus is for the year, what your theme is, what your goal is, and how you're going to take yourself seriously. Now, I do want to tell you about something really cool. I'm very excited to tell you about this. Okay, so for those of you who've been hanging out with me for a little while, you know that I serve high achieving women of faith who live through betrayal, trauma, or abuse. I myself came through domestic violence, and God's done a wonder with me, in me, and I have the honor of walking others through that season and the after season. Because once you're free from that particular relationship, that's not where the work stops; it's where the work starts. And so, so many of us who have survived abusive relationships, it didn't start in marriage. It didn't start in adulthood. It started back in childhood with different situations that kind of predispose us to those kinds of relationships. And so we're doing something so cool in about a month and a half called Day of Healing Safe Touch, a Day of Healing Safe Touch. And it is a live event here in the Tampa Bay area. And we are spending a day at a beautiful retreat center. It's actually a home. It's called Shiloh Farms. It's a beautiful, beautiful property. And we are spending a day experiencing healing safe touch. If you have felt, today we're talking about being taken seriously. If you felt overlooked, if you felt ignored, if you felt like, no one can see this pain that I'm going through, no one knows about it. I'm high functioning. So a lot of us high achieving people or high functioning people. So we do so well, so much that no one notices what we're going through. And we don't broadcast either. And it means that no one can hear us and we can't heal. And we are creating a space for women to heal. It's called A Day of Healing Safe Touch. And it is coming up on February 11th. So that's a Saturday. I'm looking for my thing. Okay. You can find information on it. I'm so excited. You can find information on it at thereboundcoach.com/events. It is absolutely free. If you are in the Tampa Bay area or you'd like to come and be in the Tampa Bay area, February 11th of this year, to come to a day of healing safe touch, you are welcome. It's absolutely free. And you can find that information at thereboundcoach.com/events. Okay. So I see some comments. So I'm going to pop them up and discuss them with you. Thank you for commenting and interacting with me. I really appreciate it, you guys. So it says, I have real goals for the first time. Really, I'm going to start a business. Congratulations! Go, Jenny, go. Excited for you. And I've known you for years. So that's awesome. Excited for you. And relearning takes the remainder of your life. Yes, it absolutely does. We go from glory to glory to glory. And so thank you for commenting. And I see Christina commented too. Have to catch the show from the beginning. My goal is to do it, whatever it is, even if I have to do it afraid. I want to continue to promote my book on healing from childhood and adulthood sexual trauma intentionally. Yes, girl. Yes. And Christina, I believe you are local to Tampa Bay. We need to have a conversation. And I'd love to have you out at Day of Healing Safe Touch, where we're actually doing a special session for people helpers. So it is both an event to serve those of us who are wounded, which honestly, it's 2 of every 4 women have experienced some sort of unsafe touch in their lifetime. In the Black community, it's 3 out of 4. So just about all of us have experienced some sort of unsafe touch. And so we're spending time in God's presence. We're spending time with ourselves, connecting to ourselves. We're spending time with each other in a safe environment. And it, like I said, it's absolutely free. So I hope you're local, Christina. I think you at least used to be local. So I'd love to have a follow-up conversation with you about that. Okay. Yes. Thank you for putting that up. Day of Healing Safe Touch on the 11th. Free. It's in Odessa. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. And the reboundcoach.com. And Jenny, you said in native populations, it's even higher. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, in many minority cultures, it's quite frequent, unfortunately. And we learn to function because we're good at that, right? We learn, we get our jobs, we have our babies, we do what we do, and we think we're okay because we're functioning. But there's so much left to do. There's so much left to do, and many of our limits come from not being healed in those areas. And so I'm just honored to do my part. I'm honored to do my part in that. To help others heal. So again, we'll wrap up from here. And guys, I also simulcast on Clubhouse, and I normally post the link when I post the link on Facebook. So if either of you or you guys do Clubhouse, you can always hop on there. We normally have an after chat. Today has been a solo mission over on Clubhouse, but sometimes we have folks over there and we do an after chat. But in any event, thank you all for joining me. Will I have my book there? Absolutely, Christina. I will have my book there. My book is also, you can get it at the website. So to see about the event, thereboundcoach.com/events, you can see about Day of Healing Safe Touch. If you're wanting to get the book, you can go to thereboundcoach.com/book. All right. And from there, you can either order a print one. So Christina, if you're not local anymore, you can order a print book, one of my copies here. I'll sign it for you and mail it to you. Or you can get one from Amazon and not Bezos. Is it Bezos? See the Amazon guy? Did I get that right? I might not have that right. But that guy can mail you one, or you can get an ebook. over there. But all the links, all the information for the book is at thereboundcoach.com/book. That's the point. But yes, at Day of Healing Safe Touch, I will have my books present, and it's going to be a really good time. It's going to be a really good time. And for those of you, if you're not local, if you're watching that, you don't know either. If you are watching this on the replay and you're like, man, that Day of Healing sounds amazing, but I live far away and I don't want to travel for just one day. Guys. Oh, April, end of April 21, 22, 23. We are hosting our 1, 2, 3, 4th? 1, 2, 3. Yes, our 4th sanctuary experience. Y'all, like, I'm already over time, so I can't like tell you all the things. Oh my gosh. We have an amazing 3-day VIP experience that we call Sanctuary Experience. It is in Clearwater Beach, and we literally spend 3 days away. So if you want to, like, man, I really want to sit in God's presence and not be bothered, right? I really want to connect with myself in a very intentional way. We have a team of people that lead folks through a healing journey over 3 days' time, myself and my fabulous compadres. It's an amazing event, and people leave changed. And I know you hear that when you go to church. I'm not talking about what happens when you go to church. Okay. That's not what we're talking about. This is a transformative experience that people go through. And people are like, well, I watched you talk about it and I watched those videos and it's nothing like that. Like, it's so much more than I could possibly explain to you. If you do want to see videos of Sanctuary Experience and hear from people who've gone and their experience, check out thereboundcoach.com/sanctuary. That's where that information lives. But if you like, yeah, I'll hop on a plane for healing, come to Sanctuary. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining and interacting with me today. You've really enhanced my experience with you. So thank you. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate you checking this out. And we're only at 37 minutes, so you can go back and watch this from the beginning. Share with someone you care about who needs to know how to finally be taken seriously. All right. God bless you. Have a wonderful evening. And until next time, folks, choose life.